Hey, I have a really weird message on my phone. Check this out.
Your mission, if you choose to accept it, and come on, let's face it, you're going to accept it. What, are you going to not accept it? This is crazy. Anyways, your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to review the movie Atomic Blonde. This message will self destruct in 10 seconds.
What a really weird and oddly specific mission. And why would the message blow? And how would the message blow? Hey everybody, Sexy Matt the Pharaoh Wizard here. Now it's time for some action, time for adventure, time for Atomic Blonde. What did I like? What did I dislike? Let's talk about it. Atomic Blonde comes to us from sort of first-time director David Leitch. I say sort of first time because he's unaccredited as a co-director of the first John Wick movie. But this is his first solo feature-length movie, and just a little nugget of information, he'll be directing Deadpool 2. So here's his tryout for Deadpool 2. So what is the plot of Atomic Blonde? Well, it's based on the graphic novel Coldest City, which I know nothing about, and so I'm just going to ignore that. But basically, it takes place in Berlin during the fall of the Berlin Wall in the 80s. And Charlize Theron plays a agent of the British intelligence agency, and a list of agent names and a bunch of company secrets has been lost and is possibly in contact with the KGB. So it's up to Charlize Theron to team up with James McAvoy to get the list back. So that is the basic plot of Atomic Blonde. So let's get into the characters. So let's jump right into it. The main character, Charlize Theron, playing Lorraine Broughton. So she is freaking awesome. There's a lot of stuff about her training for the action sequences and things. And yeah, she freaking nails it. She kicks ass. She's smart. She's sneaky. She's sexy. She's awesome. Charlize Theron knocks it out of the park. I love her in everything she does, but this is a great movie for her. I mean, she's just as good as anything in Mad Max or The Monster or anything like that. She is fantastic in this. And I absolutely love her. So good, and I just love her in everything she does, and she nails it. I can't give her enough praise for this movie. She is awesome in this movie. Then we got her partner, James McAvoy, who plays David Percival. James's character he's also a British intelligence agent, but he's been living in Berlin, collecting information, doing all this sort of stuff, and he's basically become native. He sneaks around, sells contraband, is really in love with, being the sneaky guy inside the communist bloc. And you're kind of not sure what's going on with him, but maybe you do, maybe you don't, I don't know. But he's really good as well. James McAvoy, again, A-plus guy. Really knocks it out of the park. He plays a bit of a drunk, kind of a loose unit, and does a really great job doing it. He's a great foil to Charlize, but he's not really comic relief, but he does have some funny parts, and he's just awesome. Not dragging it down. He's fantastic. I mean, what else can I say? Gotta, of course, mention John Goodman playing Emmett Kurtzfield, who's a CIA agent. And maybe he's involved, maybe he's not, you're not sure. But John Goodman, of course, always fantastic. Does a great job in this as well. Very straight-laced, like, CIA wants everything to go nice and easy and quick and all that stuff. And, yeah, he does a great job. I don't know how much else to say, but he's awesome. So the last person I want to mention is Sophia Boutella, who plays Daphne LaSalle, who's a French intelligence agent. So we have English American, French, and USSR KGB agencies all fighting over this list. You might recognize her from her role in Star Trek Beyond, if you can, imagine her without the makeup. But she is very interesting. She's a younger spy. Not sure if she's into this. Not sure, but she could be playing that she's younger. Very interesting character. You're not sure what's quite going on with her, but she is sexy, but also sneaky. And again, maybe she's just playing naive to get through this. I don't know. It's really interesting, really weird, but she is fantastic. I love her. So this whole cast is just fantastic, and they're knocking it out of the park. So what does Atomic Blonde do well? So first thing is, I had no idea this took place in the 80s. I only saw, I think, the first 2 trailers. So surprise 80s is fantastic, and the look of this 80s is great. It's gritty, it's dark, it's Soviet bloc 80s. It's not like, your local bar doing an 80s night and all the girls wear, neon spandex and you wear, a polo with the collar popped. No, this is dark, gross 80s. Kind of the 80s I more remember, even though I wasn't much in the 80s, but like just dreary 80s, and I like it, but with like neon and stuff. It's really cool. I love the look of this, and I love the fact it took place in the 80s, but it's not hitting you over the head 80s. But it sort of is, but it isn't. It's a good balance. I really like what they did there. Another thing definitely worth mentioning, best soundtrack of 2017. Shut your fucking face, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, because Atomic Blonde, better soundtrack. I mean, here's a dramatic recreation of me watching the movie. Yeah, it was that good. Everyone I was with in the movie is kind of tapping our feet, like, yeah, like really rocking out. Some really good new wave, dark, goth, 80s stuff. Some really good stuff, some remixes. Just, it's a fantastic soundtrack. Just knocks it out of the park. I want to get this soundtrack on vinyl because I feel like this is like a good vinyl fit. And yeah, it's fantastic. I love it. Soundtrack, A+. And of course, you can't have an action spy movie without action, and the action, amazing. It's not chopped up like a lot of action movies do nowadays, where it's like all these quick cuts. No, it's long, non-cutting action scenes. There's this whole stairwell scene that goes on forever without a cut, and it's so good. They let the action really take place, and the fact that the director is a former stuntman really plays into this. He knows how to shoot an action scene, and it's so amazing. It's just so well shot. I can't wait to see what he does in Deadpool 2, because the action in this is amazing. I think it's better than John Wick Chapter 2 action. Possibly better than John Wick action. I don't know, but it's so fantastic. I really love the action in this movie. But of course, no movie is perfect, so where does Atomic Blonde fall short? Well, first thing is, as I mentioned in the plot summary, that there's a list of spies and spy names that's lost, and we have to recover that. And I feel like that's been done a million times. I'm pretty sure that's the plot of the first Mission Impossible movie. I'm sure it's happened in other movies. I just feel like this plot's been done a million times. The spies got to get the list. And so that was like a little, okay. Once it gets going, it's good, but that's definitely like a very loose way to kick this movie off. I did not care for that MacGuffin. It's just been done too many times. And of course, like with every spy movie that I have a problem with, this one falls in the trappings of being a knot of a plot. Being that it's so many twists and turns, it's just this big, monkey's fist of a plot that you can't unravel, and if you try to unravel it, you just get deeper into it and just get more knotted up. Like, it's so many twists and turns, you're not even really sure what happened or what's going on. You're just like, whoa, I can't get... If you think too hard about it, you just end up blacking out, and then you wake up with a bloody nose wearing lederhosen 2 days later.
Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
So that just happens, and it comes really hard to follow at a certain point, especially near the end. You're like, who's this? What's this guy do? Did he know this? Who knows what? I need a transcript of what just happened here. So that, I mean, maybe that's just me with spy movies, but it definitely is too many twists and turns. It could just take one or two twists out. Let's just do that and focus more on the action. But yeah, really not a lot of negatives for this movie, so let's just jump right into the spoilers. So jump to this time code here if you want to skip over spoilers, because it's spoiler time. So they did something very interesting. So there's a mole within, this intelligence agency, and they don't know who it is, but they highly hint that it's James McAvoy. So me thinking like, well, that's too obvious, so it's not going to be James McAvoy. But then there's the twist that it is James McAvoy. But then there's the twist that it's actually not James McAvoy. And like this is what I was saying before with this, nodding, like who knows what, who, where, what, how, why. And it's totally that, because you're like, who know what, when, where, why. Who's the mole and who is the mole? I mean, they sort of say, but do they say? I don't know. Which comes into the other spoiler thing is Charlize Theron good or bad, or is she just looking out for herself? Discuss below. But no, really, I mean, I think she's really just looking out for herself, but she's kind of painted as like this company lady. She's just, all for the intelligence agency and working her ass off to do it. But then she is the mole, but then she kills the guy she's selling stuff to just so she can kind of have a normal life. So I guess she's just really working for herself. But again, it's just so many twists and turns. You're like, what did I just watch? What just happened? But, yeah, weird. Let's wrap this up. Overall, this is a really fun, awesome action spy movie. The spy stuff is a little too confusing, but it makes up for it with an awesome soundtrack and some amazing action. And I had a ton of fun at this. So my rating for this is going to be see it in theaters. Go check out this movie as soon as possible. You will not regret it. It is a ton of fun and possibly the best action movie of the year, which basically Charlize is in every best action movie nowadays. Between this and Mad Max, like she's always in the best action. So take that with what you will. But I'm Sexy Matt the Pharaoh Wizard. Until next time, hold on to your hold slots.